Look alive, boys! It's Sunday evening, somebody else is playing Total War and not getting defeated as the Eastern and Western Roman Empire. Now you're curious how you're going to do it. Well, you're going to do it with city battles, which you're going to win. And here we are in the hero city of Tosp, where we are going to humiliate the Sassanids. The city is going to have a citadel which is more or less defended, a lot of opening points, but this is where we have kept our McNuggets, and this Sassanids are coming for our loot pile. Let's look at who these aggressors are and of course keep an eye on our hero forces. We of course used the starting army which went into Tosp and took the city. We have a few infantry units, not enough, but what we don't have enough of are enough projectile units. So we'll have to make sure that we use our projectile units extremely judiciously. The reason is that the enemy is going to bring in a lot of cannon fodder in the terms of that they're going to bring in all these pagan bands, which we are not going to fire at. And we have to most importantly identify which are the most dangerous troops. They happen to be Persian bows and Persian mounted bows. These are the units which we will have to take out. Now amongst them, we don't have enough projectiles to donate to either of them, to both of them. But we are going to donate to one of them, and it is going to be the Persian mounted bows, because this unit is intelligent enough to go to high penetration anti-armor shots, and we have armored infantry. So these horses are going to have a great time, and it is easier to make them rout because they have half the number of troops than Persian bows. So if they lose half of their numbers under a minute, then their morale will collapse, which is exactly what I plan to do. Now let us look at the deployments. The enemy is going to come in from the southwest, and both of the enemies are going to come in from the same direction because that is where they're attacking from in the campaign map. So learn to use the campaign map and understand the directions from which the enemy is coming. We are going to place the barricade on the opposite direction near to entry point of 4 and 1 instead of putting it near entry point 3. This is a big brain move. The reason for that is, if they are entering through entry point 3, if I place the barricade there, they are going to break the barricade, and that would leave the other side open. However, I'm going to put the barricade on the other direction so that the straggling infantry which comes over here are going to get shot at from our barricade, but they won't be able to break that barricade, keeping one more entrance closed and helping me save my infantry. Now, as we can see, the enemy shall be approaching. The way is going to be quite constricted for them. Their cavalry is going to come in forward, and they're going to meet with the Roman heavy infantry in stationary testudo. Be prepared for a very, very bad time, Sassanids. Meanwhile, our cavalry, which is our weakest link, is going to hide in this little bit of clump of bushes. Make sure that they are well hidden. We shall only use this tactical asset at the most opportune time, not before. So, we have now got them engaged. We are going to make sure that we kill off their king. This is the only way to win in the early game. We do not have numbers. That is evident. We don't have numbers. We don't have money to even go ahead and get those troops. So we'll have to do with the best we have, make those shots count. All the shots go either to their Persian mounted bows or to their general. General dead, that is all we need. The first army will fold. They shall not be able to hold their ground if their general is dead, and especially with starting soldiers like pagan bands, and yeah, they don't stand a chance. As soon as those guys start running off, we are going to chase, and we are going to chase the people who are leaving through entry points 1 and 2, because entry point 3 has the second army moving in. So do not endanger your horses by moving in that direction. Now, big brain move number 2, we are going to keep this army alive. both of these armies alive, because the Sassanids are going to pay upkeep for those units, and number two, they have a limited number of armies. So if I destroy this army, they make a fresh army. Don't want them to do that. Second army is going to come in. They are going to crash against our valiant shield wall and our stationary testudo. These guys don't stand a chance. First, we're going to kill off their general, make him run away. Our cavalry, which has done the mop-up of the half of the first army which has run away, now comes back. We are now going to pull the third big brain move of this episode. Our infantry is going to swing around. This is what they do not expect you to do. This is a long run, and of course the issue is that our boys will be tired. So make sure you rest them before they charge into the enemy blob which is formed over here. And also make sure that their projectiles are driven away so that they do not rip this vital infantry which is flanking into shreds. There we go. And we shall then be able to capture most of the people from this second army. Again, we leave most of them alive, and of course the most expensive unit to just cause the Sassanids a little bit of consternation, because you know what? They have been talking shit about us. Yeah, were they now? Now listen up, Sassanids. Don't talk to me or my wife ever again. Our challenge run with the Eastern Roman Empire not losing a single battle while declaring war on everyone shall continue. Our earth-shattering wars shall continue. But today, at Tosp, our hero city, the Sassanid Empire is going to be taught a valuable lesson in humility. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the Strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Wars are expensive. Total wars are totally expensive. Therefore, if you would like to, then you can support my armies and cities via coffee or directly through PayPal. Links are in the description below. Other than a one-time donation, those entering the monthly membership tiers can have my heaven shaker armies named after themselves and watch with pride as they blaze their way to glory. For the city builder in you, whole cities can be named after you, which will last the test of time herself. Thanks in advance for any and all support. Now, on with the show. The end turn is continuing, and this is important. The Lakhmids have moved from their starting city of Hira and they have moved towards Edessa. So they can either try to outflank us at Edessa and move towards our softer parts, or they can go for Amida. So we will have to maintain pressure with them, and the way we're going to maintain pressure with them is that we're going to push forward our Legio 4th, 5th, Frentensis, remember that one which destroyed the Sassanids in one of our previous episodes? So we are going to keep pushing them so that they actually have come forward, because the Lakhmids are a bit troublesome because they can hit us in the desert, and if they do that, it will be very difficult for us to counter because they are a desert faction and they have a lot of advantages in the desert. Anyways, enough of the Lakhmids. I'm going to go into their entire story and of course the lack of their future in the future episode. So let's now watch the all the Sassanids coming in. As we are seeing, they're coming in through entry points 2 and 3, just as we expected, and therefore we have put our people exactly where they were, where they should be. I kept my general to guard entry point 4 just in case they pulled some sneak attack, but yeah, I can bring him forward. The general shan't be put into fighting because yeah, our poor crypto bro, I mean, if he loses his Doge coins, I mean, because he daily follows Elon Musk, right? So he's on Twitter, he's following what Elon Musk is doing, and Elon Musk says that yeah, Doge is going to go to the moon. So yeah, he's going to lose it all. Don't tell him that. But yeah, we'll have to do the best. So he will just be in a support role, and he will be kept well behind, at least while these Persian bows are still active. make sure that only armored units are facing these Persian bows, because else they are going to melt them. They're coming through entry point 3, and here comes their cataphracts. These are very dangerous units, but as I told you, this pathway is very constricted, so they can't pull off charges. Forget about them getting into wedge formation and pulling off charges. So they actually stopped right in front of the charge, and then they walk in to our commemorating on the far right of the screen, as you can see. Now I'm going to move my Sagittarii behind this building so that they can fire at an arch over the head of our boys and into their heads. What are these? Persian bows are being very recalcitrant because they are staying very far away from range from our cohorts. So I put cohorts onto the rampart so that they can throw their projectiles. Every spear, javelin, spoon, fork, I don't know, the cutlery, the kitchen sink that we can throw at the enemy is going to be measured and used up. I can't waste a single shot. We don't have enough projectiles, and the reason we can't have enough projectiles is because we don't have any money, boys. Because we went ahead and bought US dollars, but we should have bought Doge coins like Appius over here did. He went and bought these bored ape memes, and we didn't do that. Alright, but let's see who wins at the end. Guys, don't tell Appius, okay? We are going to win, okay? The US dollar and the euro is much better than any FD, but don't tell him that, okay? It's a secret. Keep it a secret. It's a secret for now. It's our secret. Anyways, let's continue watering these enemy which is coming in. So their pagan bands are coming in, so I hate that. But of course, I can't keep my cohorts on the ramparts forever where they are going to get shot at. So I will just have to donate to the pagan bands. Their pagan bands are actually doing the right job which they are supposed to do, which is absorb arrow fire. They are just arrow fodder. So we'll have to ration our troops as and when we see fit, because our Commander Tensei is completely alone. So I moved one full unit of cohorts to help, and that's the max I can do. Now there is a chance. Their Persian bows have come within range of our slingers and our bows. So it's time to increase the heat. We're going to increase the temperature, boys. But there's no point keeping the thermostat low. This is the winter season. We are going to increase the floor heating, and we're going to increase the mass of these Persian bows. Oh, let's go, boys. Our slingers are now on the parapets. They are going to precision shot, boys. Precision shot is in effect. 30 seconds of pure exquisite Hotel Savoy pleasure that we are going to give to these Persian bows. They're going to get breakfast in bed. They are going to have these nice jacuzzi pools to go and cool in. This nice hammam. That's what this hotel over here, Hotel Tosp, is now in operation, boys. Our staff are okay, they noticed our cavalry, so I'll have to move my cavalry back because I can't fight their cavalry. I got distracted by all the biscuits and all the free condiments and the mineral water that we wanted to donate. Our hotel staff wanted to donate to the Sassanid. So let's get back on task. Our stupid slingers just decided to run into this mass. I don't know why. Sometimes they do that, but alright, I saw them in the right moment of time. I can pull them back. I lost a few people, don't like that, but what can you do? You can't make all the memes, and you can't have all the memes at the same time, so give or take. Now be careful of Persian bows, but of course be moderately careful. The unit that you need to be the most careful of are Gothic warbands, and they're gone. They're gone because the Visigoths are gone. And for the Ostrogoths, there will be a special trick. There will be a very special meme that I'm going to make for them. So we are good in terms of Gothic warbands. Where we are going to have trouble is with these Persian mounted bows for a little bit. Because we don't have enough money to buy projectiles to get rid of them quickly. So if I had 3-4 other projectile units, these guys would have been toast. But I can't do that because the only projectile units that I can get are in terms of mercenaries, and mercenaries cost a lot of money which we don't have. I'm continuing to fire on that general on the right flank, and my infantry boys are getting shot from their Persian bows, and there is no way I can intervene because I can't get to their soft bits because this lone what is this, cataphract, whatever cataphract, they've got different kinds of cataphract, I forget which one. This is the starting cataphract which you can see on the screen, which is walking around and causing my cavalry not being able to attack their projectiles. Remember, don't attack their mobile projectiles this early on, because their mobile projectiles, although they don't have Parthian shot, they can continue to run away. And if they continue to run away, you are going to get chased to the end of the field. And you really need to keep your cavalry nearby so that you are able to take opportunities. That is what we are looking for over here. We are really looking for the minimum number of memes that we can make. So this is, for example, right now you can see our projectiles are working on their Persian bows. So 2 Persian bows, one of them is running, one of them is still left behind. I have kept the general over here to just be an arrow sponge. With 160 people, I don't expect my general to die. People don't like to put their general in the front line, but I don't have that kind of compunction. He has bought his NFTs. Well, yeah, let him go and buy Crypto Island. Right, Crypto Island, that's a nice one. He's going to buy Reddit Island because yeah, that's a fantastic place. You know, and he's going to go over there. He's going to go on social media. He's going to go on LinkedIn. He's going to put his CV over there, open to work. He's going to talk to some recruiters. There goes our shots against their general. So our general is not that scared, and I'm not that scared of firing with my fighting with my general. At this point, I'm going to stop firing with my slingers because I have to conserve ammo. Now, if your slingers are on ramparts or barricades and you tell them to stop firing, they don't stop firing. So it's a better idea that you get them off the rampart and then remount them. And that is, I think, a bit of a tragedy that it costs you clicks and naturally time. But what can we do? Our Persian brigade is going into fight, so this is civil war. We are using our doubloons, we are using our gold coins, our meme currency, no, our non-meme currency, our paper currency is being used against the Persians because we are hiring these Persian boys to go and fight those Persian boys. They are their Persian boys and they are not our Persian boys. So yeah. We are running low at this point. Our treasury is under a lot of strain because as Eastern Roman Empire fighting total war, that is pretty hard. It's pretty hard, guys, because you don't have any peaceful sector. As the Western Roman Empire, all of Hispania, all of Gaul is not a pressure point because we took out all the guys who were able to fight us in Gaul and Hispania, right? So that sector got calmed down very fast. Our Balkan front got very well tamed in the Western Roman Empire. You know, there's complete religious harmony in the Balkans because of our peaceful progressive policies. There are no religious strife. None of that is happening in the Balkans. Western Rome, Balkans is just amazing. Amazing restaurants, great cuisine. Everybody knows their history, but they're not obsessed by it. You know, what else do you need? But for the Eastern Roman Empire, that's really not the case. You really are against the ropes for every sector for a very long period of time. Anyways, we are going to deal with it, and the only way to make money as the Eastern Roman Empire is to wait on their 5% discount, which you get on the money which is left behind at the end of every turn. So that's why we have to be very stingy on spending our money. We are not going to only build certain farms so that we can just keep our head above the water in terms of food. But bare minimum. There won't be any public order buildings that I will be able to build. There shan't be any garrison buildings that we can build. We don't even have them as a faction. You know, I would have loved to have them and put them in that frontier province. but we don't have them, so what are we going to do? We're just going to make do with what we have. The general is sticking around. I'm going to rotate my cohorts a little bit because they're not fighting very well. Actually, I'm not happy with the performance both of the Persian brigade and my cohorts. I'm now seeing that the second army which is coming in is trying to go for my barricade. This is really a blessing in disguise. The reason for that is I want them to approach that barricade. Well, not all of them, but substantial amount of them, so that I can give them quite a lot of hard time. Because the fire from the barricade actually counts a lot more. I'm moving my cavalry. They are spotted. Our cavalry has been spotted, but they moved into the bushes right in time. There you saw their cataphracts had just begun to move towards our cavalry, but we hit them right on time. And you want to do that. You do not want to fight the Persian cavalry. You don't want to fight Hunnic cavalry. You are Roman horses. Roman horses were terrible throughout the entire history. They had fedorati, which were foreign troops, which were exclusively cavalry, because Roman cavalry was really bad. I don't like to use too many explicits in my channel and also in real life. So yeah, if there is an explicit to describe that, that's the Roman cavalry for you. So they used to use Germanic, they used to use African cavalry, they used to use Balearic slingers, they used to use amazing troops from all over the world, and their own infantry. Their infantry was always their own. Their cavalry, never. As a rule, never. If they could get away with it, they would. So here I'm seeing that their archers are now separated from their cavalry, but I'm still careful because every archer that I can take out without the use of my projectiles, which are drying up, is a boon. So I do want to use my cavalry against their archers, where they do have a bonus. There, we got their general. First army general is down. We got him, boys. We got him. There we go. They came with this gigantic 2 armies which they would use as a hammer. Well, there you go. Justice is served, boys. Justice is served. Because that general is still up, and probably that general has still not entered the fighting, and they have huge amount of numbers on their side. In Attila, the enemy AI does not crack until and unless you have several factors stacked up against them. So for example, killing their general or killing off 50% of a particular unit in under a minute, that's the most amount of morale blow that you can give. Another way to give a great morale blow is to kill their general within the first minute of the fight. However, as Romans, that's very difficult to do because you're mostly infantry and the general is towards the back, so you would need cavalry to reach out and boop his snoot, but you can't do that as the Romans. So we're not going to try to do that. And yeah, so at this stage we are going to try to move forward with a little bit of mop up on the right flank. Our cavalry is going to start going for their projectiles, because the most I can take out, the better, and always use the projectiles in such a way that when they are clumped up, that's when you want to charge. So there you can see our Persian mounted warriors are going forward, and now both of their Sagittarii, whatever these idiot units are, Persian bows are, they're at the same place, so they won't be able to run away as easily, and therefore you have a gigantic advantage that you essentially are fighting one unit of Persian bows because they are standing there together. But if they were moving in a differential fashion, then you would get into trouble, in that they would be supporting each other. One guy would be fighting, the other would be firing at your horses. Now we have entered our own city with our cavalry for the first time, and that is dangerous. It is dangerous because their Persian nobles are free, and they can come at our cavalry, and our cavalry won't stand a chance. So I have started firing on their nobles because and I'm firing with slingers at their nobles, because what that does is that it slows down. Whichever unit gets hit by slingers gets a minus 10% to their speed, so you debuff their speed, they move slower, so naturally their charging is also going to be terrible. They are at a 90-degree angle. So all of these advantages I have taken into consideration before I moved my boys into the cavalry. I am not making things up as I go. That is why it's much easier to fight it, because then you're just focusing on the fighting and then do the editing, because then you can focus on the memes, on the NFTs, on the Bored Ape, on the Reddit island, on the crypto island. All of these things come at a later stage, right? So I tried to move forward a little bit to do a bit of mop up, but then I can see one of the cataphracts is coming in, and he's coming in wedge formation, which is dangerous to say the least. Wedge formation, if they pull off a good charge, I have very weakened infantry on my on my right flank. That would be very dangerous for them. So I made sure that they were stationary, they were rested up, and then they can absorb that charge better. And I'm going to keep the worst unit of commemorating spears forward, in that if I lose that unit, I lose that unit. It's already weakened. I won't have to pay upkeep for it. But if I have a fresher unit, I'm not going to put that one in the front line, because yeah, every unit is going to count. We are right now in Tosp. Okay, so we are in the middle of the Devil's Garden. You have the Sassanid Empire, which is going to reach out and poop our snoots, what they are doing right now. You have Medea Atropatane, which can come and hit us. Given that you're right next to Armenia too, so as the AI cheats, because the AI cheats, the Armenians can easily make an army within one turn. They can easily get magically 6 to 7 units, and they can jump at us. If they see our garrison is extremely weak, they can come at us with a bunch of Armenian spears, and then we'll be in big trouble. So yeah, you really want fresh troops to be placed over here, and of course you want those troops to be near full strength, so that you can take the second wave of attack which is coming. Medea Atropatane can come at us with an entire army at this stage. So just winning this fight is not enough. We are going to win each and every battle. That's the game. So right now on our right flank, I put forward a weak unit of Limitani border guards. That guy is giving up. That is a hero unit. That is a hero unit. They are going to get land in the Balkans, because the Balkans are going to be made, they are already quite peaceful, right? The Huns are going to get thrown out of the Balkans, and we're going to give them good land in the Balkans. Balkans are fertile. Now their second unit of Persian bow is staying very close to this idiotic unit of pagan bands or whatever spear unit, so I can't pull off a charge, but I can't run away from that guy either, because if I try to run away, then that Persian bow is going to fire. So that's why I'm playing a little bit of games where I'm trying to move away and then moving back in so that they can't fire their bows. So as soon as I see that they're trying to fire their bows is when I try to go back, and I do that in such a fashion that I am moving away more than I'm moving towards them. So then eventually I will be beyond the range of that bow unit, or at the extreme range of that bow unit. So if they are firing a few arrows, those arrows will have the least amount of effect because they are at the extremity of the range. So make sure you mind game continuously, and that's, for example, what I'm doing right now. And right now, as my cavalry has moved beyond the range of the Persian bow is giving chase. That's exactly what I wanted. Because now he has left the safety of that spear unit, and it's liable for a good charge from my unit of horses. Now half of our horses are already dead of that Persian mounted warriors, because the Persian bows can fight. They can fight melee. Be careful about that. That and Armenian slingers. Be careful about these units. They don't really fold even if their general is down. Even if you do a nice cavalry charge at them, they don't fold easily. Now, both our flanks are in trouble right now. Because right now I think all I have to do is I have to kill the second general. So I'm going to throw my general in. We are out of projectiles. Each and every unit of item which we could throw at the enemy, we have thrown. So we have absolutely nothing left at this stage to throw at them. The kitchen sink has been thrown at them. Our Bitcoin wallet has also been thrown at this army. And right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to have to move forward. So I think this General Yazdegerd is also dead, and therefore the right flank is getting freed up. And if it gets freed up, then that is the hook that we are going to plan. Our central front is not able to hold for any longer. We are continuing to do as much mop up as we can. Therefore we can't do a hammer and anvil because our cavalry is doing mop up. And also it's a very careful amount of mop up, because every unit that I'm mopping up, I'm making sure that more than 10 people are left in that unit, because in that manner they are going to pay upkeep. They are going to not be able to recruit, because suppose they have 11 people in a particular unit of pagan bands, then that is one slot that's booked up. The AI does not disband that and make a fresh unit of pagan band or whatever. It can't do that. It is not that intelligent, right? It does not merge troops, so it keeps that slot. So if you have 5 unit of very weak pagan bands, I would love that as fighting them, because then what I would have is that they come the next turn with those 5 units of weak pagan bands, and guess what? Those pagan bands are not going to stand up against Roman heavy infantry. Their right flank is collapsing. We are now going to move towards our central flank, and let's see. Our general has been moved over here. Our general is now moving in, because at this stage their archers are still firing, and if I move my general into this blob, then if they're firing on my general, then some of their own boys are going to get hit by the friendly shot. Every unit which is available is now being moved towards the central flank, but we'll see if we need to do that, because they are on their last legs. We are still mopping up. I would have loved to do a hammer and anvil and really solve this, because this Persian bow is giving me a hard time, but we'll just have to do it man on man. Our general is in at the current moment. He's getting fired on. He is firing. We are beginning to see cracks, boys. They are firing at the backs of their own troops, and this is a big blob which I have to break. These are pagan bands which are still fighting. Look at the courage of these Sassanids. Both their Shah and Shahenshah is dead, but they are still continuing to fire for this oppressive system, whereas we have this great democratic system. Look at our happiness index. There, we got them, boys. We talked about our happiness index and we made them fold. There they go. The noble conflagration under the great Sassanid king Shapur. I think he's the son of the king or some guy. There we go. They came at us with all gusto. They came with hammers. They came with nails and cruel weapons against our beautiful children. They shall not pass. Tosp is a hero city. We are going to hold this hero city till the end of time, and we are going to prosper, boys. Let's look at whatever got away. I did the mop up as planned, leaving expensive units and worthless units up and alive. Of course, it was difficult to do the mop up because I had to keep my eyes on all ends. We're going to take on warriors, because that's very important at this stage. There can be an attack on this weekend garrison right now. So let the turn continue. We'll just see what the Sassanids do. Lakhmids, please remember what they did, right? You can see in the back the destroyed city of Duin, which is the capital of Armenia, which we went and trashed and returned back to Tosp, because we have to hold Tosp because we're guarding the entire empire. Western Roman Empire, one like equals one save of the Western Roman Empire. Although be careful of the Western Roman Empire when you play as the Eastern Roman Empire. They can make competent armies and then throw them at us. And if they throw it at some bullshit place, then yeah, it's going to get difficult for us to guard. Germanic factions are going through right now. Here come the Abbaskia is going to go on a little cruise. That's there for free to do that. Here are the puppet states of the Sassanid Empire. Morians. Mazun will probably be moving towards Novatrahana Bostra, and Atropatene did not attack. There we go. We can train the 3 competency spears at Tosp. So we have a much better chance right now. Iazyges are coming in to attack at Virimencium as we expect them. They don't carry forward their attack. This has been the Strategic Indian, signing out.